Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Miguel here. I want to first of all thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel where I talk about leadership and leadership qualities. I wanted to take a quick moment here to talk to you today about meditation and how important meditation is. More importantly, I wanted to talk to you about the importance of mental health. Mental health is so crucial because of the fact that if we're not self-aware of how we're feeling, how we're thinking, and how we're doing, it can really change the way we view things and the way we act and behave. How many times have you found yourself with a short fuse, quickly getting frustrated? The fact is that you need to do a self-analysis. And so I wanted to start off here today to talk to you about mental health. In fact, as we're doing this 10-part series titled 10 Qualities of a Great Leader, today I want to talk to you about the importance of meditation. And I know that meditation, and at least that word, for many people has already a connotation, right? You think about this word and you're already thinking visually about what meditation is. I mean, if I say the word Coca-Cola, you're thinking that red logo, the way the cursive is done. If I'm thinking or saying the word NBA, there's maybe a player that comes to your mind, right? So when we think about word association and we think about the word meditation, in our mind, there's already an idea of what meditation is. I want to be very clear and very frank of what I'm talking about when I say meditation. Meditation, I'm talking about that moment where you actually take time to do a brain dump, when you take a time to decompress, right? The fact of the matter is that many times in my commute, which is why I'm in my vehicle here, but in my commute on my way home, I often take a moment to decompress, rather it be by listening to music, listening to podcasts, right? And I put the windows down and I actually take this moment to decompress. And I'll be real honest with you. I'll be real honest. Many times I've even taken my car and I'll pull into my garage at home and I'll just sit in my car for about a minute or two and just really take a moment and breathe. Because I don't want to take the frustrations that happened at work home. And I don't want to affect my children with everything that happened at work. I don't want to affect my marriage with everything that happened at work. And so when I talk about meditation, I'm talking about that moment to decompress. And maybe asking yourself, what does it have to do with leadership? It has a whole lot to do with leadership. In fact, I've often said we should not communicate, we should connect. We should not communicate, we should connect. So again, don't communicate, connect. And it's, for some people, easy to communicate, to just share information and say words and put sentences together. But let me ask you this. How many times have you been in a conversation with someone and in the moment that they're talking, they're totally engaged, right? They're engaged in the moment that they're talking. But when it's your turn to contribute to the conversation, all of a sudden they're a space monkey, right? I mean, they're gone. They're not here. And you ask them, are you listening? Did you understand what I'm saying? Are you with me here? The fact is that they're not connected. They weren't connected to begin with. They only felt stimulated because they were the one talking, but they weren't connected, because had they been connected, they'd be listening to what you're saying. And you ask yourself, why is it that people can't connect? Why is it that leaders can't connect? The fact is that we're so focused on the next meeting, on the next project, on the next thing we have to do, on the next place we have to be at, and all the other things, that we're not actually connected in that moment. In fact, ask yourself, just analyze this. How many times have you been in a conversation and somebody says a word and you're like, oh, that reminds me, you're no longer connected. Now, let me be frank here. That's happened to me too. When I've been in a conversation and somebody says, oh yeah, and I took a drive and I went to the hardware store. Ooh, hardware store, I got to go finish this project. Speaking of projects, because of the COVID-19, I actually had to work from home like many of you had to as well. And in working from home, there was a few challenges that I faced. And number one was a guilt. I felt a guilt because I was at home, but I wasn't contributing to the household. Contributing in the sense of, as a homeowner, there's always projects, there's always things you have to do. As a married man, you always have that honey-do list. Fellas, you know what the honey-do list is. But the fact is that there's always something to do. And I just felt so guilty because I was at home, but I was secluded in a room and I couldn't do anything because I had to be at work. Another challenge that I faced working at home was that As soon as I signed off on the computer, as soon as I was done with the project, with whatever I was doing, and I literally just got up from my chair and I walked out of the room because I have a designated room. But as soon as I walked out of that room, guess where I was? Home. And so I needed to give myself an additional 30 minutes. So if I finished my shift at 6 or at 7, I needed to give myself an additional 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to just, them stresses of the day. Because I found that if I was literally just getting up, walking out the door, I found that I was really agitated. I found that I was not in the moment as I wanted to be. And that was because, again, I didn't give myself a chance to decompress, a chance to compartmentalize everything, a chance to meditate. And when I talk about meditation, really what I'm trying to convey and what I really am talking about is taking a moment to asking yourself, what's the most important thing in my life? Really, is this project more important than my children? Is this more important than my marriage? Is this more important than my house, than my health? Right? When you put it like that, it puts things in perspective. And unfortunately, many times we get so caught up on the agenda, on the meetings, on the projects, on the presentations, on the etc. You fill in the blank, that we forget about what's important in our lives. And we begin to drown and we begin to feel like we're being just overtaken. And sometimes even the thing that brought us joy now seems to be poison. And I think it's because we don't take a time to meditate, to think about what's more important in your life. And so this may be something you do early in the morning. This may be something you do in your commute at home, which is what I do. And this may be something you do late at night before you go to bed. Maybe write in your journal, write in a notebook, right? Just get those ideas out. Do that brain dump. Do that moment of meditation. Ask yourself these questions of what's more important, or what's the highlight of the day? What's the pitfall? What's the lesson learned here today? I think we need to get to this moment of meditation. I'll be honest with you, as a Latin American man, as a Hispanic man, many times I found this so difficult because the men that were influential in my life were sometimes men that didn't even say the words, "I love you." I didn't see them cry. I didn't see them show emotion. And so I'm asking you, leader, or you that desire to grow in leadership, I ask you, get in tune with your emotions into that moment where you're aware and saying, this isn't the me I want to be. Maybe I have a short fuse. Why do I have this short fuse? Why am I so irritated? Why am I so bothered? Why am I so frustrated? And so I'm talking to you from my vehicle, and my car has not moved because it's parked in my garage. Because sometimes I need to take a moment to decompress. And I need to take a moment to meditate and ask myself, what's more important than the projects that I have to finish? Because they have to get finished. They have to get finished. But is that more important than the relationship that I have with my daughters? And is that more important than tea time? Is that more important than my marriage? If I lost my job, how would I feel? If I lost my house, how would I feel? If I lost my marriage, how would I feel? I know these are questions that many people don't ask themselves, but when I'm talking about doing a brain dump and I'm talking about that meditation, this is what we have to do. Now, maybe these are the questions I ask myself. These are literally the questions I ask myself. Maybe you need to find other questions that'll bring you back and bring you to the moment that, hey, when you walk out this door and you go into your house and you're engaging with your children, with your loved one, try to be present in the moment. You see, the only way you can be present in the moment in that meeting that you have for tomorrow is if you're present in this meeting that you have right now with your loved ones. And so it's important for a leader, for an individual who wants to be a great leader. It's important to be inclusive. It's important to lead from from the inside out, from a place of grace and not greed. It's important to be responsible. These things are important. And again, I'm going to leave a link above me and even in the description below where you can check out the playlist. But one of the things that we should not miss the boat on is mental health, is taking a moment to meditate, doing that brain dump, decompress, taking that moment to compartmentalize. You call it what you want. And for me, it may be just taking a moment to just sitting within my thoughts and just, okay, let me get back into what's important. For me, it's that. I know for some people, it's playing video games. That may be your moment to just kind of refresh and escape and just kind of, okay, let me... Sometimes I do the same thing. I put the 2K on that easy mode and I smash on everybody. And if you can beat a team at 100, listen, let me not talk about that. This ain't the channel about that. What I'm talking about is really find what works for you. Maybe it's listening to music. Maybe it's writing in your notebook. I would just encourage you to take a moment to really get back and focus, anchor down, right? Anchor down. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's going for a walk. Whatever it is for you. In fact, I want to take this moment. Please let me know in the comment section for you. What is it, right? What is it that you do to kind of anchor down, do that brain dump, take a refresh, right? Hit the reset button. Do that meditation. And maybe it is sitting in a room with ambient music. Maybe it is. Or maybe like me, you sit in your car in your garage and you just take a moment, right? Or maybe, I don't know what it is. I want to definitely know what it is that you do as you develop and grow in leadership. What is it that you do to meditate, to hit that refresh button, to really, again, do that brain dump and really hit the refocus button? I'm encouraged to hear what you do. And again, I want to encourage you that if you're into this type of content, that is the content to help you develop and grow in leadership, please consider hitting the subscribe button. If you're watching from YouTube, consider definitely hitting the notification bell. And can you do me a favor? Can you just let a friend know about our channel? Just let someone know about it. Maybe you know someone who's really dealing with stress, frustrations. And I've had the benefit here where I've been able to go back to the office. So working from home hasn't been so much of a challenge, but for a few months there, I was working from home and that was a challenge. And it definitely required me being self-aware, me really thinking about things and me really being able to talk to my wife and have that communication. But again, I was able to get back into the office. And so my meditation routine of when I'm driving home or early in the morning, I was able to kind of restart that. Not everybody has that luxury. Not everybody's in the same position. And even still, the challenges are different. So I want to encourage you, definitely share this video. Again, get into it with your mental health. It's super, super important, not just as a leader, not just as a parent, as a loved one, but as an individual. For you, it's important. I care about your mental health and I care about you developing and growing in leadership, which is why we have this channel. Hey, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for staying connected. I'll see you on the next one. Remember, every Tuesday and Friday, we drop new videos. All right, be successful. Surround yourself with people that nourish your vision.